Welcome guys for another video of Leetcode challenge 1313 decompress run length encode list. Let's try to understand the exercise. We are given a list nums of integers representing a list compressed with run length encoding. Consider each adjacent pair of elements. This is adjacent pair, frequent value equal to names of all this formula. Alright, for each such pair there are frequent elements with the value concatenated in the sublist. It's a little bit complicated to understand until we look at the example. Example 1, this is names here. Output. Now, explanation. The first pair, 1 and 2, means we have 1 stands for frequency, 2 stands for value. So it's frequency value pair, which means we put this value frequency times. That's we put 2 1 time. That is why we have this. Right. This is the second pair, 3 and 4. It means we put 4 3 times. This is it. So from the first pair we get this, from the second pair we get this, and when we concatenate we get this. That is why we have this output. Now let's try to understand it from example number 2. So this is my array here, nums. It's 1 1 2 3. Now this is frequency value, frequency value. All right, so there's like some splitting in the middle here. Okay, so from the first pair it means we put 1 1 time. This is the value, we put 1 time. And then from the second pair, this is the value, the frequency is 2, so we put 3 2 times. Alright, at the end we concatenate these two sub arrays, we get 1 3 3. That's how we arrive at this final output. Okay, so how can we approach this problem? The first one is looping over this array, but not one element at a time. Probably we'll be skipping, like this is the indices. This one is at index 0, this is at index 1, so these are indices. Okay, and this is at the index 2 3. So what if we loop this array at even indices? Like we start at 0, we hop at 2, so we keep hopping because once we have an element we just go to the next index, it becomes the pair. What does that mean? It means we're going to have a for loop. That starts at 0 and y it's less than the length. In fact, that means we loop to the end, and Generally this for loop is I plus plus, but it will be I plus 2, meaning we start at 0 and then we move to 2. Okay, something like that. And then when we are at the ith position, for example here we start at 0, so at position 0 what do we have is f, is the frequency. So the frequency is nums of I, and the value just next to the frequency, the number just next to the frequency is the value. So we have value is nums of I plus 1. That's it. Alright. So we start here and we have our frequency and value, which is needed to construct our sub-array. Yeah. So there are two approaches. We can construct these two sub-arrays and merge at the end, or we can just be building as we go. So I'm going to choose building because that's faster. So let me just have a final. I'll just put this into an output array. So I'll be looping and building directly instead of having this, of passing through this sub-array phase. So I'll have an output array, which is going to be our final answer. That is why I'm going to return it right here. Okay. So I have frequency, I have value. So what do? Like for this last pair here, we can see that our half frequency is 2, value is 3. It means I should insert inside our output the value frequency times. So here what do? I have to insert the value inside the output frequency times. We can do that with a while loop or with another for loop also. Let me just use a for loop. So the number of times to do it, rounds. So our number of rounds, it starts at 0 and ends at frequency times, and we keep doing that progressively. That's why rounds increase. Okay, so frequency times, what are we going to do? We're going to insert the value inside output array. Okay, and we're going to do that frequency times. Now this for loop guarantees the number of rounds to do it. Okay, so we just need to be pushing inside this output array. We have to be pushing the value. That's it, and let's see what we have on our screen by displaying. I'm going to comment this. This was for demonstration purposes. Let's run. Alright, we got code to debug. What do we have? Call and retry last allocation field JavaScript heap out of memory. This means there is something that loops like indefinitely. That's that. Alright. The first thing I'm going to do is to make sure that enters this loop. So let's display I. So it enters the first time, and let's see if it enters here. So the first run is run. So you can see from the console, I is 1 here. It means it enters the first for loop. And down here, we can see run. I think it's rounds with an S. Okay. All right. So we can see that it's rounds that runs indefinitely. So this loop has an issue. So this is not I, it's rounds. It's rounds that has to run frequency times. That was the error. Okay, let's run again. Great. So we have 2, 4, 4, 4. Alright. Great. So I can remove this console. Before that, coming here from the output, you can see that when I is 1, when I is 0, sorry, that means when we are in this 0 here, our frequency is 1. That is why round rotates just one time to construct this sub array I, or this insert this first I here. Now when we arrive I equals to 2, that's here, we have to put two times. What is that? Oh, this example was for this second one. Now if we're using by this first example here, 3 and 4, like here, 3 and 4. Alright, this means we have to put 4 3 times. 3 times means there will be 3 rounds. That is why we have these 3 rounds here. 4 4 4. That's it. So I can get rid of the console logs. and this final one, and run again. And submit for the final time. Alright guys, that's it, and you can put on the comment section any ways to optimize these. For now, see you on another coding challenge.